welcome to Solution on Wheels. Today we have Andrew Work again.
Hey, good to see you, Vincent.
September.
Yes,
All
yes,
right.
early September. That's right. School's back in. The politicians are still some on holiday, but some are coming back.
Okay.
Our chief executive is back in action this week. It was a little quiet without him.
Yeah, that's true. Back to school, and we have one keyword for you every day. So let's start with Monday. What do we have for Monday?
Okay, well, Monday, there's a couple of smaller things going on. People in public housing get a free month of rent from September. Talked about this a long time ago. Good for them. Sure, that'll make people happy. People are keeping an eye on Alpeas Lam's school to see if protesters show up or not. The latest word was that the protesters said they weren't going to go, but you know, there's so many rogue groups out there today that take it upon themselves to go out and make noise. We just don't know what's going to happen, so people want to watch for that. The Secretary for Security, Lai Tong-kwok, is headed up to Beijing and Tianjin, and he's taking all the heads of the disciplinary services, except ambulance. They got left off the list. I hope they don't feel too bad about it. But, you know, customs, police, fire, who else have we got? Correctional services. I hope they don't learn too much about how to run jails from the Chinese. And immigration.
Knowledge transfer.
Knowledge transfer. Yeah. Maybe it's going the other way. But certainly, you know, when you think of immigration, police, customs, they obviously have a lot to talk about with their mainland Chinese counterparts, so that'll hopefully be a productive trip. And then the other big thing, and this is a mouthful, is the pilot scheme on community care service voucher for the elderly. Launches today. And so the idea is that older people are going to get basically a voucher. And there's a new scheme set up. It's a trial scheme. So you got 240 people have registered for the kickoff. And, you know, this is kind of, you start to get a sense of what some of the government's basic philosophies are, because usually it's quite hard to tease them out.
Yeah.
But this voucher thing is similar a little bit to what they do in education sometimes.
Yeah.
Concepts like money follows the user.
Yep. I think this voucher scheme warrants a lot of attention. This voucher scheme is not the ideal voucher scheme.
Yeah.
It's only the voucher scheme for particular types of services for the elderly. It's elderly care services, but not residential care services.
Yeah.
As you know, I mean, there are basically two types of support to elderly. The relatively healthy elderly, they will try to slow down their deterioration and frailty by giving them exercise and training. And now the voucher scheme is for that particular type of services.
Yeah.
But the bigger problem, and the public always care for, is the residential care services. Can the elderly have sufficient care when he cannot move around and has to stay in an institution? And I think this scheme is a prologue of the bigger scheme at the end. If this scheme is successful, then you can have voucher scheme for residential care services. And once you have voucher for residential care services, then you can raise, hopefully, you can raise the quality of residential care homes significantly. Because right now, a lot of the private care homes basically set their price mark to the CSSA of the elderly.
Yeah.
So if the CSSA for the elderly is that particular amount, they have to scale back what can they give to the elderly in the residential care home. Yeah. So I have high hopes for this voucher scheme. So I would pick voucher as the keyword for today.
Okay,
what do you think? Do you like the voucher scheme?
I'm a big fan of vouchers. I think that if the government's going to spend the money, you know, the more control you can give to the people over how it's used, the better. You know, and I think this particular voucher scheme seems pretty well thought out. You know, Matthew Zhong's team, I think Carrie Chan's the point woman on this one. You know, they really seem to have put a lot of thought into this. Not because, you know, with old people you get special issues, and, you know, okay, it's great to say, good, you have a voucher, but what if it's somebody with dementia?
Yep.
But they have what they call responsible service provider. They have the responsible workers who are meant to work with these people, keep track of them, help them to understand it.
Yep.
And then they have the recognized service provider. So it looks like this plan's pretty well thought out. The money will ideally go to the right places and really make a difference.
Yeah, hopefully it will make a difference. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you very much, Vincent. All right.